What's up, Z? It's Shorty. I already opened my can, so you'll have to deal. Sorry. I've been thinking about what it looks like to live a happy life. What does it mean to me? And I think it's good to be open and honest about the arguments that you have, and I hope that in the future you don't worry whether or not your relationship is at stake. And I hope that this is a big, turning point for you. I hope you can see that you are both in it for the long run and that it's not just about the incremental fights, That is something that Maya and I have talked about extensively, is when there's emotions and there's anger and there's other things happening and words are being thrown around. I always want you being Maya, to keep in your head that I am 100% invested in this relationship long term, and that I 1000% believe in you and my relationship, and that I want you to move forward and be happy with, or not happy, but be aware that that is where I'm coming from all the time. I am always saying, this is why I think, or this is what I think is best for our relationship, and this is why. And so I just wanted to close that it's healthy to talk about that. And I'm sorry that you went through it, but also I am glad that you talked about it, because I love both of you, and I want you to, and I also want to feel like I'm going through, I go through stuff, you go through stuff, and I want to feel like I can talk about that. So thank you. I also wanted to talk about what I've learned this week, which is the thought that if you rely on others, you are relying on their level of expertise. And the way that I'm thinking about it is in old school RuneScape, which you love and you play a lot of, and it's kind of fun. There's different bars, right? So you can take attack has a bar, and you can get it to 99 or whatever. And in real life, you can do the same thing, right? I have studied for hours and hours and hours and gone to school to get that certificate, or the piece of paper that says that I have done this amount of studying and that I am competent and whatever. And then I had to take a test that said that I am competent in this. But that only got me to level 20, maybe. It got me to know how to teach or how to talk the language, but it did not give me the expertise that I needed. And so I'm continuing to work on that. But it also has shown me that it means that there are a lot of people that are in fields that maybe aren't experts. Less so in my field of work, because people that get into healthcare are generally very, very passionate about what they are doing. Usually when people join healthcare, it's because they want to be in healthcare and they see that this is supporting other people, and they see that there is evidence, there is research that's able to be used. But in I'll just give you an example of buying a used car, right? You don't know a lot of things that have gone on. You don't know the problems and whatnot, and the person who's trying to sell it to you is trying to cover those things. So you almost have to be strong in your knowledge base. You have to think to ask questions, you have to look around, you have to use your own judgment. And I think that it's been so easy to just rely on other people to do the work that I have gotten to the point where I just trust the experts. But I don't necessarily, like, there are some experts that I want to trust, right? I want to trust that the people who make my vaccines are smart, because they are. But I also want to have a level of knowledge that gives me that background to say I do trust those experts because I know what they're talking about. Yeah. Just enough to be like, yes, that is right, that is real, that makes sense in my mind. The science backs up what they're saying. My knowledge backs up what they're saying, and I want to be more invested in other things that way too, because I remember Tim Messina, who you may not know, but anyway, he was somebody that I knew growing up. He got a lot of money off of his house because he walked through and was like, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and can you, whatever. But he knew to look for all that stuff, and you could pay an inspector, a private inspector, whatnot. But then you're relying on them, and are they, did they do the extra work, or did they just stop at the 20%, or are they just starting and now they're at the 20%? Although not everybody starts at 20%. A lot of people start way above, So I don't know. That's just what I've been thinking about. Is how can I be better educated, a better resource, in this specific area. So that's what I've been thinking more about. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on this journey with me. I will talk to you next week.